Today we're participating in the Redmond Cascadia Rising Drill. We have a full-scale exercise involving City of Redmond, Office of Emergency Management, the Fire Department, the Police Department, Parks, Logistics, the whole 9 yards. The goal of today's exercise was to bring all of our teams together across the city, as well as our outside partners, to be able to determine where we're working well together and where we need room for improvement.
The goal is to have a prepared and resilient community where we have a series of partners that we can depend on to help us respond and recover from an incident. Connectivity is huge in an incident because people don't walk around with a Rolodex anymore. They don't walk around with an address book. It's all in that phone of theirs. So that connectivity becomes really critical to people who have essential needs that are stored on there. Medications, child care, elder care, things like that. So connectivity connects a community to essential information for essential services.
So of the 30 regional partners and the partners that are working with us, Kymeta is one of the communications partners that are working with us for today's event. The ability for our first responders to be able to have a satellite uplink or the ability to communicate with hospitals, our ability to communicate with our other regional partners is critical. So for us to have that gap filled with some sort of satellite related communications is huge.
The technology that Kymeta has brought to the exercises today is our satellite connectivity platform. It's centered around our U7 satellite antenna, which has been mounted on a handful of vehicles around the city. That brings a satellite internet connection feed and combines it with cellular connections in our hybrid connectivity router. This then provides a Wi-Fi access network to users and responders within the local area of the vehicle to ensure they always have communications regardless of local cell networks, local internet, and things like that. Reliable communications and connectivity are very important to our first responders in any incident, whether it's a day-to-day incident or a large-scale natural disaster, because the incident or the response simply doesn't wait. When a responder goes in to deal with a situation, they need to be able to communicate with other responders on scene, with medical personnel, with command center, while the response actually needs to take place. If they don't have a way to be able to reliably talk to those people that they need to, they can't do their jobs as effectively, and sometimes they may be left without communications at all.
The main concern is always incident safety, the safety of the community, the safety of our first responders. Of course, during these type of disasters, we're worried about critical infrastructures, whether it's transportation, whether it's sheltering, most importantly, whether it's communication, because if we can't get the communication integrated, if we can't get the communication up in line, well, then we can't get the coordination.
Connectivity is critical. It's how we know where to apply what resources and our tactics and goals to go out and accomplish rescue, life safety, and to be able to reinstitute infrastructure within the city and the region. We need connectivity to make that happen.
The difference that the Kymeta solution brings is that we can now provide reliable communications on all the response platforms, regardless of what the local networks are doing. If a responder is relying on a cellular network only, that cellular network can be degraded, that cellular network can be overwhelmed, it can be unreliable at best. And so if we bring in this satellite component, we now have constant, reliable communications. We can also combine that with the hybrid connectivity platform and be able to extend communications around the vehicle so that anybody responding to that incident now has reliable communications regardless of the environment. Any area where this technology is implemented can feel quite a bit better about a response being much more efficient and much more effective.